Welcome, Pick Central, October 19th. I'm your host today because I'm in the office. Why not, people? Give me the fucking hate. It's Smitty and Clemmer right now. Marty Mush is coming in. Dukes, Meek, everybody behind the glass. I think Ebo might be even stopping by.
Ebo's around.
Clemmer and I just had a great 5-minute discussion about baseball because it's two sports nuts talking ball. Probably won't be able to recreate that magic, but it's okay because magic is coming via Cars.com, which is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car. It's celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars. Wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for you on Cars.com. Clemmer, you're trying to look for those childhood highlights in the Model T. You think you might be able to find one on Cars.com?
I'd like to find my first car, 1986 Plymouth Sundance. Wonder if that's there at Cars.com. That'd be fun. It'd be fun to have my old car again.
I bet you it is there. 1992 Ford Pony hatchback Escort.
Ooh,
yes.
You had the pony.
2-door.
Oh, yeah?
Steering wheel fell off, but the steering wheel won't fall off on Cars.com because up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Cars.com. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Go get it. Cars.com. Look for a minivan right now.
Are you? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's where you are, huh?
Yeah.
I love minivans, Smitty. I grew up with a minivan. My first car was a minivan. Me and my friends have had very fond memories in a minivan. A lot of things happen in that minivan. I'm a minivan guy.
That's good. That makes me feel a lot more comfortable, Dukes. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Whose idea is the minivan? Yours or the missus?
My wife actually hates minivans.
Oh, really?
So I mean, we're going back and forth the SUV minivan route.
There's some nice SUVs that you can have have a bunch of kids in it.
I agree, but I'm at the point in my life where I just don't care what people think about me or look.
I can tell by the way you introed the show.
Yeah.
Yelled at our audience.
I know, and just wait till the antidepressants start kicking in, and we really won't care. But Clemmer, let's see if you care about this.
Okay.
Meek, you might want to help me with an impression of Chris Clemmer yesterday talking about the Houston Astros.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I said the Astros could win that game. I didn't. I never said that the Astros were not going to win that game.
No. Well,
I even bet. My bet was Scherzer would not go.
Yeah, but I think your phrasing was, I for one, considering the stats and economics, I don't see a path that the Houston Astros could find a way to win this series. Do you still hold that stance?
I didn't become a weird Southern senator yesterday. I don't think I still don't.
Shots fired, Strom Thurmond.
That's right.
Not even rest in peace. That guy was a dick.
That guy was a bad guy.
Okay.
No, I don't see a path. Now, look, it's 2-1. So I mean, yeah, but I just wanted you to talk through the path. Kind of, you said the Astros were going to win the series. I wanted to hear kind of how you.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
You were insinuating that.
I said that they are more equipped to win the series down 0-2 than most other teams in this position, including the Diamondbacks.
You think they're going to win today? I don't. So that's one difference.
I'm betting on them to win today. Yeah.
I think the Rangers will win. They have Heaney starting, who's not great, but he's actually been pretty good in short bursts. I think they'll have him go 3 innings, then bring in Dane Dunning. It's going to be a piggyback situation. I think that works out pretty well for them. It's worked out well for them in the playoffs so far.
What about the Houston Astros, judging by, I don't know, experience of 100 playoff games in the last 7 years, including Jose Altuve, who hit one out last night? What if the bats finally come alive? I mean, they left even some meat on the bone with Jordan getting robbed of a home run. What if the Astros just all of a sudden say, hey, fuck it, I'm going to put up a 5-7 spot every night now?
You keep bringing up 7 years. Like, do you want me to read off the Astros lineup 7 years ago?
It's about culture.
Okay. They had a different manager back then, too.
Yeah, okay. And they were banging trash cans. But they know how to hit and play in the postseason more than most other teams.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Clemmer, you're saying, like, bring it to the line from 7 years ago. Bring it to the line from literally last season when they won the whole thing. Like,
you're right, yeah. No, but you can't say 7 years ago, though. That last year has a lot more relevance than 7 years ago does to me.
I think what Jose Altuve has done over the last 7 years, what Alex Bregman has done over the last 7 years holds a lot of relevance, actually.
Okay, there's two guys.
I think what Jordan Alvarez has done over, the last 4 or 5 years, that holds a lot of relevance. I think what Michael Brantley has done his entire career holds a lot of relevance.
Okay. Even Jose Abreu, maybe not the most playoff experience, but a veteran presence coming in.
I'll ask you guys both. Do you guys think who's going to win this series?
I think it's going to be the Astros.
Okay.
I just also want this on record, too, that the Texas Rangers trailed for 1 inning the entire playoffs for last night. Max Scherzer took the mound and sucked the absolute life out of them, getting shelled. It was bases loaded, 2 outs. Martin Maldonado, a guy batting like 120 up at the plate. All 3 runners score. Then a home run to Jose Altuve. Max Scherzer, the absolute vampire, sucked the entire vibes out of his ball club.
I think we all agreed. Well, I know at least me and you, I think, agreed that Max Scherzer should never have started that game. We said that before the game started.
I'm more convinced if he pitched in the wild card series, this team isn't even here.
It could very well be.
Chat brought up an interesting path, how the Astros could win this series.
Score more runs?
Score more runs. And best road record in the MLB.
Real quick, we have the phone lines open today since there's only 2 of us. Dukes, get that number up. It's not the same number as the old Barstool radio days, I believe. But
Stool 22, I think.
Stool 22? Okay, it might be. All right.
No, the road record is that's very valid. That's very fair. The Astros have been a very good road team all year.
What series was it? Was it against the Nationals where the home team lost every World Series game?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Opposite of the 87 World Series, where the home team won everyone. I know, that is crazy, right? That is very strange. But I mean, it's baseball. Shit can happen. So, yeah, the Astros, I still like the Rangers quite a bit in this series. You still have Jordan Montgomery you have to face. You still have Eovaldi you have to face. I think that's where I think the path gets difficult for the Astros. You still have those 2 guys waiting in the wings.
So what is going to be your stance if the Astros win today? Can you give us a light into Chris?
Just what I just said.
Numbers? Okay.
It still gets hard. This is why I think the path is tough.
We need the Astros to win this series now. I hate that. I hate the Phillies going up against them again when they're hot. But you just need the Astros to win now to shut your face up.
Well, I don't know if it would shut me up. I would say I was wrong. I would be like, I'm an idiot. And then, and do my best for the World Series. We're all wrong. Smitty, we all make predictions on this show. We're wrong all the time. All we can do is do our best prediction with the best research we can do and try to explain it the best we can.
I actually agree with that. I always say when I make predictions, like, I've been wrong once, I'll be wrong again, I'll be wrong a million more times. But the thing about this specific argument was it would have been very easy for you just to give up a little bit, and yesterday you just kept doubling down on it.
And you shame others for having a different opinion of it.
I don't shame. You guys take shame.
Oh, no.
You guys take shame.
Dukes, Meek, did he shame yesterday?
Yeah,
he's walking around with the fucking bell. Shame.
You did like the Jalen Rose you didn't play professional basketball.
No.
You can't talk baseball. You're like, you didn't
The opposite baseball. Happened to me. No, that's bullshit. The opposite happened. I had people calling in saying you didn't play, whatever. You never played a sport. That was the opposite shit. No.
No, I agree with you in that sense. It's bullshit, but you were doing like the talk down like you guys don't watch baseball like I watch baseball. I know baseball.
True. That's true.
I agree with like
except for Phil. Phil does.
You watch baseball a shit ton, but I think that Smitty and Ev's argument was both valid in just sports arguments in general.
It was all they were walking around cliches. Now, if you want to bring up the best road record, that's an interesting conversation. If you're going to say score more runs or playoff experience, those are just like vague terms that don't have any meaning to me. Like, we need to crystallize a little more.
Do you think that the Yankees, so this is from the chat, how did you feel about the Yankees of the 90s and 2000s?
They were the Yankees up until 2000, I guess, period. They were the best team in baseball.
They were always in the playoffs and had playoff pedgree, correct?
Well, not 96, really. 96 was only their second year in the playoffs. I mean, they didn't have a ton of experience, so no.
90s and 2000s, though.
Well, but they won a World Series in 96.
So
okay, what would you say about the Yankees in the 20s or the 60s, 50s through 60s?
Yes, those 8-team leagues. The Yankees in the 20s weren't as great as they were very good, but 50s and 60s is different. No, they were awesome, but then they all got old at once in 1965.
But do you think playoff pedigree had anything to do with?
No, I think they had the best teams. They were the best teams every year.
I wasn't alive then, so I
mean, shout out to those teams. I actually used Chuck Klein on one of my matches today.
But if we're talking about playoff experience, why didn't the Dodgers just annihilate the Diamondbacks? They had way more playoff experience.
Whoa. The Dodgers have historically recently failed year in and year out.
World Series company, but they have more experience.
No, they won a fake World Series in 2020. No, but no. Their experience is anti-experience at winning in the playoffs.
So what happened when they won the World Series?
That was a fake year. The fact that they won in 2020 and no other year should make Dave Roberts the worst manager in the postseason in history.
How about the Phillies last year when they went to the World Series?
The Phillies were playing with house money all the way through.
But they still beat teams that had playoff experience, though.
They beat a beaten up Braves team with no pitching staff. That the Braves were better than. They beat the Cardinals, who were at the end of their fucking rope. And they beat the Padres, who had zero playoff experience.
But the first two teams you mentioned had more playoff.
And then what happened? And then what happened when they faced a team that's actually been there?
Well, they were a better team. The Astros.
What happened when they faced a team with fucking experience in the World Series?
Why does it? They faced teams with more experience in 2 rounds before that.
The Padres?
The Cardinals, the Dodgers.
The Phillies were better teams. Then the Phillies were a better team than the Cardinals, especially playing that way, and they were a better team at the time than the Braves.
But throw out the 2020 championship, because Meek's a baseball guy. I try to count the Dodgers World Series. He says it doesn't count, right?
Correct. It does not count.
Okay.
So if they face the Dodgers in the playoffs, and you're talking about playoff pedigree, what the Dodgers are historically known for is not winning in the playoffs.
Correct.
The Astros are known for winning in the playoffs.
Unless Kirk Gibson's whipping it out in '88.
Very true.
Yeah, so I just think it's just way different when you're going against a team like you're talking about the core that the Dodgers
How about the
have.
Cardinals, though? Cardinals are known for doing quite well.
Well, you're talking about
and the Cardinals' last World Series win was 2011. That was 10 years ago, playing with the same guys, playing with Pujols and Wainwright.
I was gonna say, I don't think Paul Goldschmidt did play in the NLCS in 2019,
right.
But it's like there's not much like none of those guys went on a deep run.
with the manager that is the age. It could be your son.
Okay.
Well, you want to talk about experience?
Yeah.
They didn't have any.
Well, they had experience. They had experience.
Should we get Frank on to talk about this?
We can get Frank. Frank will be more. Frank will be on Smitty's side of this one. He's more pro experience.
I don't want to be on the same.
But also, I mean, we can go back.
Yeah, we do. Smitty, we gotta stay together. I'm a Frank guy.
No.
We can go back.
No, because then
we can go back to the Twins argument too.
You guys want him?
Whatever you guys want. Then we can go back to the Twins argument too.
We got 50 minutes of this.
You don't have to. I mean, you guys brought it up. You guys brought up the playoff experience thing. I don't think it's a big factor in this. I think the talent overrules everything. I'm always going to lean on teams that have more talent and have more playoff experience, because I don't think playoff experience really matters.
How many years did you lose a World Series bet on the Dodgers?
Did I lose a World? I don't know if I put too many. I mean, they went 3 times. So I mean, in my awakening lifetime, they went 3 times. I watched the '88 World Series. I wasn't betting then. I was 8.
Also, hindsight.
That's responsible.
It's easy to say, oh, the better team won. Oh, they're the better
team. Doesn't always win. Better team doesn't always win. Talent. 2006.
Exactly.
2006, the Mets had the best team in baseball. They lost.
Yeah, they lost. I mean, what the Cardinals win that year?
82, 83 games. Yeah. 83 games. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It's
possibly
baseball.
because they had experience.
Crazy shit can happen.
Pedigree.
I will be wrong a lot. I'll never say I'm infallible. That's stupid. You can't say that. But
nobody's comparing you to like Thanos.
I know, but
nobody ever said that.
But you guys seem to be thinking I think of myself as Thanos, and I don't at all.
I will say no. I don't believe you think as Thanos, but you sometimes act like it.
No, I make a clear point that I believe in, that I feel like I've done the research on, that I feel strongly about. It's kind of what we're doing here, I thought.
We're just trying to get through day by day, to be honest with you.
I just love talking baseball, and I'm passionate about it, and I have strong opinions. But
two nuts talking ball.
Two nuts talking ball. But I do think, though, this is the thing, to your original point, though, which is a good question. You're like, all right, if the Astros do win today, which is very possible, right? Heaney and Dunning. I mean, it's not like
the line is -105.
We're not talking Sandy Koufax here. So let's say the Astros do win. I think having to face Montgomery and Eovaldi makes it tough. Now I'll say this though. Let me counter with this. If it goes to a Game 7. It's going to be tough for the Rangers to win that game.
Why?
Not because of playoff experience, because you're going to get the guy with playoff experience of Max Scherzer pitching. But stop, look at me. Wait. You asked me a question, I'm answering. I'm answering you like, I'm being fair to you.
I'm being real.
I'm being fair with you. You asked me a question, you're like laughing. It's not because of playoff experience, because the guy for the Rangers has more playoff experience than anybody else, I think, taking the mound that day.
Mm-hmm. Whose arm is about to fall off.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Exactly. I can dig up Christy Mathewson right now, who has all the playoff experience in the world.
Oh, Clemmer, you were talking playoff experience. Christian Javier is a better playoff pitcher than Max Scherzer is.
No, he absolutely.
I don't even think that's debatable, honestly.
No, it's not. But it's not. But who has more experience, though?
I don't care about Christian Javier has more experience of being good in the playoffs than Max Scherzer does.
Absolutely. And also, Christian Javier right now is a better pitcher than Max Scherzer, without question. It's all about talent. It's always going to fall down to talent for me, though, Phil.
Okay.
And without question, Javier is light years better than Scherzer. We saw that yesterday. I don't know how the Rangers can win a Game 7. there, especially in Houston. There's a lot going on there. So
I agree.
That gets tough.
Going against the Astros.
So
in the playoffs.
if it gets to a Game 7, the Rangers have all the power. But if it doesn't, it gets tough.
So I
think that's fair. I don't know why this is a competitive or a combative discussion. Excuse me.
I just want to throw in a little trivia question here.
I don't.
So
You're so crazy, man.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm. I am a crazy person.
You are the one that's making this combative.
I'm not. You guys are. You guys came at me at this.
I'm not kidding. I think you're gaslighting us.
I think you're gaslighting me. I think all of you are.
Clemmer, you know this isn't the first league championship series played at Globe Life Field, right?
Was it during the 2020 COVID stuff?
Correct.
Yeah.
I just want a reminder that the other championship league series played at his ballpark. The Atlanta Braves blew a 3-1 lead in that series, and that's the only part of the playoffs we count from that year.
Okay.
So, just want that.
I'd like to go on record. My apologies to Christy Mathewson and his family. I did not mean for any sort of shot. Rest in peace.
He's been dead a long time. I don't think he's listening.
A long time. Well, his family might be out there. Yeah, never know.
It's like Mathewson's like great grandkids.
Yeah.
Big Prick Central fans, maybe.
I honestly don't like that. I think of an old school baseball player randomly that often.
Mathewson's going way back
like that. Yeah.
That is
I
usually go to like a Bob Gibson joke at that point.
Yeah. Well, he's not dead.
He is dead.
He is? When did he pass?
A couple years ago.
Aw. Rest in peace, Bob Gibson. One of the most dominant pitchers in MLB baseball history. They raised him out because of him.
Absolutely right. I mean, and talk about playoff. You want to talk about a guy who had playoff cojones? If you want to talk about that, that's what you want to rest on? Bob Gibson's a great example for you.
Great to use in the show. MLB The Show. Okay, on to another baseball contest this evening. The Philadelphia Phillies take a 2-0 lead into Arizona, where it is 99 degrees right now, 12% humidity. Ranger Suarez is on the clip or bump. I'm not sure how many buttons he's going to go down tonight. I'm going to say 3.
What's the weather? Doesn't matter. They're in the dome.
Well,
What's the roof?
I'm just saying more for his appeal and button wearing
All right.
strategy. I'm going to say 3 buttons down. I'm going to say he's going to bring his big balls. However, I am not the most confident in the Phillies tonight, and neither are the books. The money and the sharps are against the Eagles, the Phillies, and it would not surprise me if the Diamondbacks take this game at plus 125.
It would shock me.
It would shock you?
This would surprise me way more than Brandon Pfaadt is. He had a decent start his last time. His first start before that was terrible. He's not he's just not a great pitcher. People say he's improved, and they're absolutely right. He has since like the last 2 months of the year. His ERA has been about 4. But that's still not great. I think Ranger Suarez in that Phillies lineup, I believe in way more than I believe in Brandon Pfaadt. I think Brandon Pfaadt's going to have a very nice career, but it's not there yet.
I agree with you, but situationally, Phillies are riding high. This is obviously a must-win game for the Diamondbacks if they want any chance. I don't think they have a chance in this series, but
I don't
if
either.
the Phillies are minus 900, if they want any chance, I think they just come out and unload the clip tonight between the lineup and the fans. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Phillies bats quiet a little bit. And then I'll tell you something, win or lose tonight, because the Phillies still can win this game. I'm just not placing money on it because I don't feel that comfortable.
Okay.
Win or lose, I'm unloading the responsible clip on them tomorrow.
See, I think that because tomorrow's a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks.
Good.
So they can't unload the clip tonight because they got to save those arms for tomorrow. They're really at a huge disadvantage.
But what if they
here.
do? Who'd they bring in the last game to face Bryce Harper for no reason whatsoever?
I forget. When?
They brought in an arm to face Bryce Harper that they didn't
Ryan
into.
Nelson, I think?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, yeah. They had Nelson. Yeah.
Just for like no reason whatsoever. So who's to say that bullpen's going to be managed well today?
I thought Nelson was going to be the Game 4 starter.
Exactly.
Clemmer, I just want to stop you. They're down 2-0 in the series. You're unloading the clip every single game like it's your last game. You're not playing for tomorrow.
But you have to have some eye.
No, you
toward
don't,
tomorrow.
because there is no tomorrow.
Okay, well, there is a tomorrow, though. Unfortunately, you're wrong.
If you lose, there's no tomorrow.
Clemmer.
There's still a tomorrow, though.
Clemmer.
This isn't. You still have to put guys out there tomorrow, though. And you still have to give
If you
your
don't
team a
win,
chance to
you don't have to.
No, you do. You're down 3, but you're not down 4. You're not out yet.
Yeah, but you're pretty much fucking out. Look.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen to this rationale. I just think that they are going all out to win today and then holding it out to win with Gowan in Game 5 and then give you a chance to win 2 in Philly because there is no – you think that there's no path for the Astros. I honestly don't think there's a path for the Diamondbacks to win unless – something happens where injuries or things can go to shit.
I don't think there's much of a path for the Astros. I think there's no path.
Yeah. So win or lose tonight, I think the Diamondbacks are going to be going all out. And if they win, you better believe the Phillies are coming out tomorrow, especially if Christopher Sanchez is on the bump, which I don't think he will be because I think they'll give it to Walker solely because they have Walker's.
I know you don't like that either.
I don't like that either, but it's a confidence play. Here's the thing. I think if they win tonight, they go with Walker tomorrow, but if they lose, they go with Sanchez.
That's interesting. And they haven't announced it yet. I think you might be onto something.
Yeah. I think the Phillies absolutely explode tomorrow, no matter what happens. Because if you win tonight, then it's 3-0 tomorrow. Diamondbacks are done. It's a bullpen game. It might be another 10-0 route.
I don't even like the Diamondbacks bullpen that much.
Exactly. Why are you arguing with me?
What part of the Diamondbacks team do you like? Because this isn't a good team.
The defense. Defense is
that's it. Yeah.
historic.
And they have Corbin Carroll, Kettle Marte, like they have, and Gallen at home.
They have two good players. Congrats.
Gallen at home and Kelly at home are exceptional.
Okay.
No. The Diamondbacks,
Kelly's not pitching at home.
The Diamondbacks won 84 games. I mean, there's a reason I've been throwing money on the Phillies every night. It's been great so far. Since the Phillies Marlins series, I've been saying I really believe in this Phillies team. They are built for this. This is an incredibly talented roster that is coming together at the right time and has all the pieces healthy and ready to go. This Phillies team they're only going to be a 90-win team, so historically it might not play that out. But playoff-wise, there's not too many playoff rosters better than this.
Are they built for this because of their long run last year and have a pedigree under their belt?
No, they're built for this because they have more. See, this is what I mean. You guys keep trying to, and that's what Phil does.
You cherry pick.
I don't cherry pick.
You're CPK.
Nope.
Cherry picking Clemmer.
No, I'm not cherry picking at all. I've been saying the Phillies have more talent.
I said
saying that since day one.
I said
Phil needs to troll because he has no other input to do it. There's no other value to add except for trolling and trying to ruin other people.
It's a great value to have.
Hey, no argument here.
I'm actually going to agree with Clemmer on that one. I said this going into the Braves playoff series last year, and I said this at the beginning of this year. The Phillies aren't as equipped as the Braves or other teams to win their division, but they are definitely equipped in the playoffs. Definitely, and that's the Dave Dombrowski special.
Oh, Dave Dombrowski's just a great GM, period. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame GM. Look what we did with the Expos back in the early 90s.
Yeah, but he builds...
The Marlins, the Red Sox,
the
Tigers.
He builds and destroys.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he...
I don't even think so.
I don't think that's
because
fair.
he came into the Phillies farm system with nothing.
Yeah.
With pretty much nothing, and found some stuff out of it. Which is incredible, and the farm system's kind of rebuilt now. So
Dukes' point, he did do some damage to the Red Sox farm.
The Red Sox, but he also won a ring.
To be fair, the only thing I read is Red Sox people that know baseball way more than me being like,
And,
Dombrowski fucked us, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
But you know who fucked the Red Sox the most?
Who?
The Mookie Betts trade, which wasn't Dombrowski, that was Chaim Bloom.
Yeah,
well, he's a moron. At least we got a World Series out of Dombrowski.
If you look at each stop Dave Dombrowski's been at, the reason why those teams fell apart is because ownership just didn't want to spend anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
You look
97 Marlins. So go look at it. Go through the.
They dismantled their whole championship team.
Even the Expos, early Expos. He took the Marlins job, but he built a core that should have been a World Series contender.
Yeah, the only argument maybe against that is the Tigers, maybe.
But even still, the owner
died, and
they just want to spend.
And he gave him over two shots to win.
Yeah.
There.
And he had a farm system that was barren. That team was a joke.
That team was very underrated. You had Scherzer in his prime. You had Verlander in his prime. You had Anibal Sanchez, who was a great pitcher.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had to go and get both Sanchez and Scherzer, but those are great deals that Dombrowski made. I mean,
Cabrera hitting triple crowns.
Who they got? They traded nothing to get him. I mean, that was a ridiculous trade.
Let's get the calls in here, please. 888-STOOL-22. So it's just
we got two on the line.
Yeah, well, fire them up, Dukes. You don't just want to hear two nuts talking ball the whole time.
Let's get a third nut in here.
Yes.
We got Chris.
Let's get all the nuts.
Unmute him though.
Welcome to the sack, Chris.
Yeah,
another nut.
Chris, you're unmuted now.
One big tea-barty of teabagging. Let's do it. Sports.
All right, boys. Well, I got to talk to Chris on this one. From one Chris to another, you're not making us look good, bud.
Okay. Why?
Got to take a deep look in the mirror. This whole pedigree nonsense.
I agree it is nonsense.
Pedigree? No. There is such thing as pedigree.
Okay.
You have pedigree.
Okay.
To get this pedigree, you have to emphasize on everything, whether it be watching an extra hour of video, 10 extra reps. That emphasis brings up a reputation. And once you build that rep and you start fucking producing in the playoffs, producing in the regular season, that reputation builds a pedigree.
Okay.
You understand now?
I don't at all, but that's okay.
You're right, Chris.
Okay.
Not you.
I know.
The other Chris. Car Chris.
God damn. All right. I don't know.
So how do you
make this
explain
any easier for you, man?
How do you explain? So you think it's all about like culture and building a culture through like playoff wins in theory? So like what happened to the Braves
it's
after
by
they won
players.
'95? Why did that culture
We're
evaporate?
talking pedigrees in a player. Are we not? Or are we talking pedigrees as a team?
It seemed to be more team based, based on the discussion we've been having on the show.
Well, either way, I'd say it's more players have pedigree, and that player pedigree.
So like you're talking about like
feeds
veteran
off on other
experience.
Players. Not really veteran, but if you look at like a Patrick Mahomes, for example, he has that pedigree that can bring up these 6th and 7th rounders who were thought of nobodies, and look at them now.
Is that pedigree or is that
apparently
talent? He's the
great
best
defense.
quarterback in the game. I don't know if that's pedigree. I think he's just really good at his job.
Well, I think they're feeding off his pedigree, and they're building pedigree themselves. They're getting better reps, and they're looking better themselves.
You don't think it has to do with his talents?
A little bit, yeah, but how do you
A
get
little
that
bit?
talent?
A little bit? You think Patrick Mahomes' success is a little bit based on his talent?
Well, how do you get that talent? You take reps.
Because he's really good.
You got to get better.
It's hard work.
Chris Clemmer thinks that you can just pluck Patrick Mahomes from heaven, put him in one game in a high-pressure situation in the Super Bowl, and he just win it no matter what because he's.
I never said that. I never said any of that.
No, but that's
you don't
what you alluded
understand
to.
At all what I'm saying. No, at all. I'm saying he's going to give you the best chance to win a Super Bowl because he's the best quarterback.
But he's been there and taken the reps.
The
That
first
makes
time
him
he
even
went,
better.
that was his first time there, and he's won. How do you explain that then, Smitty?
Coaching and some of that does with the coaching. His coaching has amazing pedigree. Look at what he's done over his 20 years.
Andy Reid,
amazing.
We're
coach.
talking about
I've
different
always,
sport now.
as
too.
Andy Reid's #1 fan, Andy Reid's always been an immaculate coach. You cannot criticize.
Andy Reid's a fantastic coach. I don't really know how it translates to the Astros more likely to win than the Rangers because of pedigree, though.
I think that he was basically just saying that, like, the playoff pedigree that Jose Altuve has, that Bregman has, that Maldonado has, playing in these high pressure.
But he was talking about like doing like like practice and like doing extra like weight room and extra time. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I think we're talking about playoff experience more than like what someone does in a weight room, right?
I didn't even know we were talking about.
That's what he was. That's what the caller brought up.
We're getting into semantics.
That's what the caller. No, semantics. The caller said that.
You're cherry picking again. You're picking one thing that he said and using it again is his whole argument. That wasn't his whole argument.
His whole argument was like it's about building a culture by hard work. That always seemed to be his argument.
I think that Altuve, Bregman, this is just what my route would be. Again, not a baseball guy.
Right.
Let me make that clear.
You don't always give a disclaimer on everything you say.
Thank you for your call, Chris.
Why are you being such an asshole?
I'm not being asshole. You do it every time. Every time you're like, I'm not going to about Patriots.
Yeah, because I'm saying what I'm not like a professional speaking about. If I want to speak about the fucking Patriots, I'll speak about the Patriots. I'm saying I'm not a baseball guy. You fucking asshole.
That's not me.
Are you talking down to me? Like,
no, I'm not. You gotta relax.
I'm a girl. No, you're like.
You give a disclaimer you always say I'm not gonna talk about the Patriots or I don't want to talk about the Patriots, but here I go.
Yeah, because I'm trying to give a fucking disclaimer that like I don't really want to get into it. I want to get into it for 10 minutes. All right? Like you've been fucking complaining for the past 15 minutes.
I don't know why you're mad at me.
You're being a fucking asshole. That's why.
I don't think I am at all.
I don't know whether.
I got everyone coming after me here. I don't know. I really don't know what the problem is.
I don't know.
I was trying to take your side and be like, try to like meet you halfway, but you're being a fucking asshole.
I don't think I'm saying you don't need to give a disclaimer because your opinion's valid enough. You don't need to do that.
I'm having a hard time.
I was going the other way on you. I think we're just misunderstanding each other.
I'm having a hard. Can we please apologize to each other?
I'll apologize, dude, because I was not trying to be
Hear me.
shitty there at all. I'm sorry if it came out that way. It was not my intent at all.
Me too, Clemmer. Sorry.
Okay.
Honestly, Dukes, there was zero intent on my end.
Kumbaya all around. I honestly don't know whether this show is entertaining or pointless.
It's a little bit of both.
No, I don't think there's an in-between either.
Zach, you're on the line.
There you go, Zach.
Just guys being dudes. It happens. Smitty, how are you?
Good, Zach. How are we doing?
I'm all right. Last time we spoke, we talked about how important that game 3 or 4 was in that Braves series, that you guys got Strider in the bank, and now you guys are playing with house money against Arizona. My question to you, are you a little scared? Are you a little scared this series gets maybe entertaining? You think Arizona can snag 2 or maybe 3 here in Arizona and get back to Philly?
No, honestly, I don't. I'm very confident in the Phillies' abilities. And look, if that happens, it's going to suck. But it's going to be good for the Diamondbacks. If the Diamondbacks could pull, when you talk about, it won't be obviously the most impressive comeback in sports history. If they're down 0-3, I still think that would be the Red Sox of the Yankees in 0-3. But when you talk about the disparity between talent and overcoming and comeback, I think this will be up there with one of the greatest comebacks of all time if the Diamondbacks win.
To go back to the thing about Strider in the bank, Strider pitching Game 3 has a lot more relevance in a 5-game series than a 7-game. Like it's more like scary at that point.
Yeah.
If the Diamondbacks come back and win this would absolutely be one of the great comebacks. If they get to the World Series, that's a Cinderella story. Absolutely, 84-win team.
Yeah. I just don't see it the way this Phillies team is playing right now. It's the only way you can describe it is magic. That's the only. I mean, you see it in teams all across sports from time to time. They have everything going for them, and that's not even saying in a cocky way. That's just saying in like a confidence, beautiful way.
I don't even think it's magic. I think they're just really good.
They're
that good.
But I think
they're the shit out of teams.
I think they're coming together, and this is where now can you not interrupt me here? This is where I think pedigree and last year matters. Last year they were playing with house money, and getting to the playoffs was a huge accomplishment for the first time in a generation. B, winning a playoff series and getting a playoff game at home in front of the Braves, huge accomplishment. If they lost to the Braves last year, it would be like, great season, no worries. Them beating the Braves was just like, holy shit, this now everything is great. It'd be great to get to the World Series and beat the Padres, but I don't know. Padres just beat the Mets. Mets are better than the Phillies. They beat the Padres, and it's like, obviously you want to win the World Series. It didn't happen, but it's gone down as a great season. If the Phillies don't win the World Series this year, even coming into the playoffs, it's not a great season. And they know that. And them understanding that is what elevates the pedigree from last year to help them this year.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, that's how I look at it. Oh, sorry, Carl. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I didn't know if I was still here, but while I am, I want to jump in real quick. The Arizona Diamondbacks, in my opinion, are like a year too early. You know what I mean?
They're the Phillies of last year.
Okay.
They're the Phillies last year. They're playing with
100%.
house money.
Yeah, they're a year too early. And as I do leave, I did give us a college football pick last week. I want to do one more. That Navy Air Force total is a joke. 34 points. Are you guys kidding me?
No.
I got to take the over.
Zach.
I got to do it.
Zach.
No.
It's 31 and a half now.
Oh.
I got to do is I got to take the over.
I think it's 31 and a half. Or maybe that's the Iowa game. One of the totals is 31 and a half.
I saw 34 when I got on here, and I said I got to take the over. It's just it's how many touchdowns is that? That's 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Oh my God.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
That over.
No, and by the way, it was the Iowa game.
Yeah.
Iowa, Minnesota's 31 and a half. Sorry.
Yeah, but even so, the total's that low. That's a 6-3 game. We got Frank the Tank in here right now. But first of all, Frank, I want to talk to you about the good old people and steaks over at Omaha Steaks. Fall is in the air, or autumn, however you like to say it, and that means we're looking forward to crisp mornings, falling leaves, and sweater weather. More importantly, it's the perfect time for fall grilling, tailgating, and cozy comfort food. Omaha Steaks has all your fall cravings covered with 50% off site-wide during their semi-annual sale. That's 50% for all your favorite juicy, tender, extra-aged steaks like the Butcher's Cut filet mignons. Go to omahasteaks.com today and use code PICKS at checkout and get an extra $30 off your order. Frank, you cooked Omaha Steaks in the office. They were delicious.
Omaha's got the best meats. They have quality meats, and that's why. It's the quality of the meat that makes the steak, not the cook. I mean, a good steak, anyone could cook it unless you're someone like Max Scherzer who.
Let's finish it. Let's finish it with Omaha Steaks. The possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value on incredible entrees, scrumptious sides, decadent desserts, and more. Omaha Steaks equals the world's best beef. Frank said it himself. Naturally aged for the ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready when you want to grill. All backed by their unconditional 100% money back guarantee. Before we get into it,
we got Ebo here too.
Ebo's here. We're talking a little JMU football. Somebody, just do me a favor. I've been obviously going through it recently. Somebody clip that entire speech I made about pedigree to Chris Clemmer. That was like the most eloquent and most understanding I've ever been about anything in life. I would just like to have that, and not even for clipping or
posterity. It was a beautiful moment.
I like to have that for the love of the game. All right, Frank. Well, welcome, Ebo.
Yeah, I know. I got invited in before the show, but I saw the star of the show. Frank was in here.
Yeah, so Ebo used to be
double clutched it.
Ebo used to be a producer here on Pick Central. Did a phenomenal job. Is now in Chicago working on mostly sports and
Gambling,
and just doing the damn thing. So my question to you, Ebo, is how much shit are you going to get for going on Pick Central? How much baby back stuff are you going to get? You're throwing.
I don't think I'll get that much shit.
That much? Why would you get any?
Yeah, well, that's the question. Why would you
maybe
get
some
any?
ball busting, you know. It's just like some friendly shots, as Rico said. There's some friendly shots going around. But yeah, I got my Pick Central custom.
Does Mostly Sports hate this show?
I don't think so.
I think Mostly Sports.
There's the time. Rico is very obsessed with the time slot war, as we saw in Pick'em. But
it is what it is. That's what he always says. It is what it is.
it is what
it is.
Yeah, fair.
Frank the Tank. First of all, who's your pick to win the World Series right now?
I think it has to be the Phillies,
Okay.
which is bad news for you, because you know how good I am at picking.
That's actually true. The Fleming curse going all the way back to the Stone Ages, correct?
I have traced it to Greece, and my guy by the name of Archimedes Fleming was a package receiver for the city of Troy.
And there you have it. Frank, now this has been an ongoing discussion the past 2 days. Are the Astros more or less equipped to come back down 0-2 against the Rangers because they have the, quote, pedigree of being there 7 years straight winning World Series, or does that not matter? Is it just based on talent alone?
No, the Astros have the pedigree and can easily come back and win this series.
Frank's always been a big pedigree guy.
Especially since the Astros pretty much played better on the road all season.
This is actually incredible. I'm trying to find one person that actually agrees with Clemmer, like anywhere in the world when it comes to this argument.
I mean, the Astros basically won the division because in early September, they went into Arlington and swept them in a big series. Of course, they ended up finishing tied, and the Astros won the tiebreaker by winning the season series, and that was done by that big sweep. And speaking about that big sweep, that was just before Max Scherzer actually got injured in September, and he got bombed. And of course, he got bombed yesterday. Because you see, the bigger the game, I don't. When I was a kid, they had these things, these little things. You cut them up, you put them in the oven, and they shrunk. They call them shrinky dinks. And Max Scherzer, when the heat is
aren't they cancerous? Didn't that come out?
Maybe.
Okay. Surprise me.
They're not around anymore.
Yeah.
They're not around anymore, and probably for good reason. I mean, melting plastic in the oven, and kids go, "Wow!" Ooh, you see, things were much simpler back then. And
leukemia comes and owns the party.
And so Max Scherzer is a shrinky dink. When the heat is on,
I mean, he won a World Series, Frank.
And how many times does he shit the bed in the playoffs? How many times did he shit the
Well, I don't think Frank, I don't think that's entirely fair. The guy's arm's falling off.
He's hurt.
Like when he was with the Tigers, he got him there. Like,
but what happened in the 2012 World Series? What happened in the 2013 playoffs against the Red Sox?
It wasn't that bad.
I mean, how many times? 2019, he's won one World Series because the Nationals went on an incredible lucky run.
He was also dominant during it.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't dominant.
He was 3-0 in the playoffs, Frank.
Yeah, well, every time.
COVID year doesn't count.
Every time I
wasn't though.
Well, COVID existed though.
Yep.
Every time I've seen Max Scherzer go out with a game that was a must-win game, it's been awful. Going back to last weekend in Atlanta, I mean, he is the reason the Mets didn't beat the Padres. I firmly believe that. He is the reason the Mets didn't beat the Braves. He is the reason this season fell apart. And plus, he is just an absolute total asshole and a dick to everyone that's fucking around him.
Do you guys think?
And the Mets still give him a video tribute. I still find it outrageous.
Do you guys think? I don't know if you talked about, but like, when players are hurt and it's like it's a Max Scherzer type or like even like a Rhys Hoskins, like you're already doing well, right? Texas Rangers haven't lost yet. Do you think it was smart? Like, I know it's hard to say no to Max Scherzer coming to the pitch, but like he was not Max Scherzer at all yesterday. Like,
I don't think they had many more options either, right?
They had options. They had Dunning and Heaney. You had guys right there. They went.
Yeah, but that doesn't mess up the series.
No.
Schedule?
He had no business being on that mound. None.
I saw that Max Scherzer was the pitcher yesterday. I put $100 on the Astros money line. Ka-ching!
There you go.
SVP did the same thing.
All right, Frank.
Ebo, you're more of an analytics guy. Where are you with pedigree versus talent? And
Clearly, for the Orioles, pedigree didn't matter. We just the Rangers were cheating. I didn't really think pedigree had anything to do with
Cheating?
that series. Yeah, they were cheating.
How were they cheating?
They were using Creed, Frank.
wait, did you
use the power of Creed?
Did you look at your analytics? Who has the last AL East playoff win?
It's the Yankees, right?
Oh yeah.
Advance.
Yeah. Just want to remember. Frank, did you have anything to say to Trevor May?
Trevor May?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about having a ERA better than 4? How about caring more about the Mets than your Twitch streams? I mean, come on.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
What did he do
2 days ago? He called out John Fisher.
Well, that was
the same thing that he did, and he called out Frank.
Yeah, that was a good thing. But yeah, he says I'm toxic to the fan base. Why? Because I have expectations. Because I expect them to perform well. I mean, if my comments really are hurting the Mets, then they really are just like soft as Charmin.
If the Mets came out to you, right, and they were like, "Listen, you really the locker room's in turmoil because of Frank the Tank," would you stop?
If anyone tells me that, then
like if if Buck Showalter came
manager
to you today and was like, "Listen, do you think you could stop and maybe start winning," or would you be like, "Oh, I'm going to be myself"?
Well, Buck Showalter's been fired,
right.
but anyone
I don't know who the coach.
Anyone.
Say David Stearns, the GM. Like, Frank, you really got to tone it down.
Yeah, I said, what? Are we really going to baby them? I mean, Buck Showalter last year, after getting their fucking asses swept by the goddamn motherfucking Atlanta Braves, blowing 3 fucking run leads in each fucking game, is then that last fucking game where they blew 4 different fucking leads, including the 9th fucking inning and the 10th fucking inning, and this guy's going to tell me he's fucking proud. Maybe if you did stop fucking babying him. You know, the other day, the Devils have played like shit so far through the first 3 fucking games.
Nothing to do with the Mets.
Do you know what Lindy fucking Ruff did on the Tuesday?
No, what did he do?
He fucking took the spirit of fucking Herb Brooks and had him skating side to side. Again!
I love that.
Lindy Ruff went out there and kicked their fucking ass.
Good stuff. I like that.
Last year, Frank.
For every Mets loss, you want suicides after every Mets loss?
Yeah.
I want
seppuku with the baseball bat, the sharp end.
I want accountability. There's no accountability in the JoJo. I mean, we got Daniel Vogelback, who
he'll be gone, Frank.
And he better fucking be gone. I mean, he is the worst athlete of all time to play Major League Baseball. I mean, he's the worst athlete of all time to play any Major League sport. I mean, my God, the only weightlifting he does is 12-ounce curls. I mean, this guy fucking has no motivation. You could tell that he does not give one single solitary fuck.
All right. About 15 minutes left on the show. Marty, do you have anything in the Astros or Phillies series?
I think the Astros win this series. I really do. I think that yesterday they showed the bats woke up. I think Andrew Heaney is an abysmal pitcher. I really do.
He hasn't been bad. When they use him,
Warrior is not a good pitcher.
No, but they've been using him in short bursts. He's been a lot better. So basically, they have him go around the order once, and they pull him, and they'll bring in Dane Dunning. He's been good. As long as guys don't see him 2 or 3 times, then it gets bad.
I just think that
he has an ERA of 5.08 like Jose Urquidy.
Why is that? Why? See that? No,
because that was your talking point.
This is you. This is
about him not being able to win.
That's the difference between me and you. Like, I'm not mocking you. You need to be shitty. Like, I'm having an honest discussion. You're being a shithead. Which is what you do. I know that's like what you do.
No, I'm calling out your contradictory statements.
There's nothing contradictory. I was having.
How is Andrew? I
wasn't doing anything wrong. You're being a shithead.
No, you're defending Andrew Heaney for having.
I have so much money in the Phillies, and I hope they fucking lose. I really do. I'll take a bath. That's fine. If it means ruining you, I'm gonna start following that Smitty Come to Work account. Hang on a second. Let me find that.
You're going.
Oh, hang on a second. This is a good account. I gotta follow it. Hang on.
You're going to defend.
This is good.
You're going to defend Andrew Heaney, who has has a +4 over a 4 ERA, and say, oh well, but
good week.
In short bursts, he can do it. He's a fascinating pitcher. But Jose Urquidy, or whatever his name is, has a 5 ERA, and say he cannot win, and you don't see a path winning with him.
I just said he's been. You don't listen, which is a Smitty staple, I know. But his last 2 starts, he's been pretty good. He's been doing better.
Andrew Heaney hasn't pitched in 12 days. Should we be worried about the rust of his playoff form affecting
absolutely.
him?
I mean, rust is a real thing.
I will tell you this, though.
Thank you, Frank.
If there's any hope for the Texas Rangers, it's in the dugout. They got one of the best managers in postseason history. We talk about postseason pedigree. No one has a better pedigree than Bruce Bochy.
Is he the greatest manager that we've seen in our lifetimes?
In the playoffs or all encompassing?
Nobody's been better than Bochy, obviously, but
no, Torrey had a hell of a. I know those two.
Yeah, ain't bad over there.
I will say in the 21st century.
Harry Francona, but I didn't have this.
La Russa?
LaRussa.
Not the 21st century, but if you go back to like 80 on, maybe you could have that.
La Russa new White Sox era.
No, La Russa.
Just Cardinals. La
Russa developed modern bullpens with the A's. Like what he did was incredible. Setup guys, closers, things like that.
Well, it's easy when you have like Eckersley.
But he was the one who said.
Oh no! Thank you, Frank. No, Smitty.
I tried to throw out a name before I was born. Frank's coming at me. Well, I mean, before I was cognizant in baseball.
Was a terrific starting pitcher.
Yes, he was.
He threw a no-hitter with the Cleveland Indians. He was a solid starter for the Boston Red Sox.
20 games.
For several seasons. He went and was big part of the 78 rotation. I mean, the Indians were just this dumbest organization back then, where anytime anyone looked like he was about to develop into a star, they traded him.
You know why they traded him? He was his wife was fucking another player.
Oh, my God.
Rick Manning.
And so they chose Rick Manning over smart move Indians. That's why you went 40 years without fucking even coming 40 years without even contending for a playoff spot. So anyway, Dennis Eckersley goes to the Cubs, and all of a sudden he sucks. He had bad. I mean, 86. I remember the Mets faced him about 3 or 4 times, and every time they wrecked him, and he was basically done. Washed up, finished. He ends up going to Oakland, probably like on a minor league type deal, like the tryout. And Tony Russo put him in the bullpen. And then Tony Russo realized if you put this guy out there 1 inning a game, you got a weapon. Tony Russo saw that in him. Eckersley was finished in 1986. He was viewed as done. He was garbage. He was on the trash heap when the A's picked him up.
So that's very interesting because I know he started games before, but I didn't know that he was done. Obviously, he's known more now as a reliever.
Oh yeah, his relief success. I mean, when MVP, Cy Young.
Let me ask you a question, Clemmer. If the Astros win tonight, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think it's? I think it's over.
No. I think it's still tough. This is why I was talking about the path yesterday. Is like you still have to face Montgomery on Game 5, who I like more than Verlander.
Verlander's still.
Just imagine someone actually
pretty well.
Just imagine someone actually traded Montgomery for a 4th outfielder.
Frank. Hey, Zach Wheeler's on the other side over there. How's he doing? How do you do?
Yeah, well, the people who are responsible for Zach Wheeler being gone are gone.
And then in Game 6, you still have Eovaldi. So, I don't know if it does get easier for the Astros. Now, I said this to Smitty before we got here. Like, if it gets to a Game 7, the Astros are winning that game because you got to throw Scherzer out there. So I don't know how the.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about Jag Saints tonight. Thursday Night Football line right now is -2.5 for the Saints. Trevor Lawrence, literally a game time decision for his knee sprain. He's going to see.
When they do this.
Yeah.
I put money on the fucking Jaguars and every time this happens, the guy, surprise injury.
Who? It's C.J. Beathard?
Yeah,
C.J. Beathard.
But with quarterbacks,
he's competent.
I still think the Jags defense will keep him in there, Lawrence. I know Lawrence. But this line has been Saints lying from the jump.
I'm staying away from it. I don't know what to do with this.
I think you have to take. As a gambler, you take Saints because it's what is it now?
It's 2.5.
By the way, this year I picked the Saints. I picked 6 Saints games. If I pick them to win, they lose. If I pick them to lose, they win.
You picked them to lose today?
No, you picked the Jaguars.
Yes, I did. I picked the Saints to lose today.
Yeah, so
All right,
Saints.
so that's
No, the Saints are a weird team where I think I honestly don't care who's at quarterback for the Jags. Good deep breath, Dukes. I think that the Jags are such on a high right now, and the Saints are looked at as kind of shitty in the last 2 weeks, I think.
Oh no, they were shitty. They were great 2 weeks ago. Shitty last week. We don't know what they're going to show up. Yes, you'd never know who's going to show up.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's why you take the Saints.
Yeah, they have joined the Chargers and Falcons as just the teams that you just cannot pick.
Jags have won 3 in a row.
Just bet the under and forget it. Don't pick a side.
Over under is 40.5.
Just pick the under.
That's where I was leaning.
50 and 25 last
You
75
have
prime
to
time
take the
games.
Saints tonight. It's almost like I don't even know how you feel comfortable taking the Jags.
Frank, every time he bets on the Saints, they lose, and every time he bets against the Saints, they win. I have to take the Saints.
Saints. Yeah, home. I don't know. I just don't know.
No, I do my picks every week.
What if we find out Trevor Lawrence is playing? Sorry, Smith.
I don't think it matters that much.
But obviously, if he's playing, he's not 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Still, they would have been playing already, you know? So, like, I don't know. I think
this baseball content, I'm running away from.
I pick every week. Every week I do the blog, my picks blog, and my record. I'm 12 games under 500 in this picks blog. I mean, I'm feeble, so fade me. And basically, there are about 5 teams that no matter what I do, I can't seem to figure them out. The Falcons, the Browns, the Chargers, the Saints. I mean, no matter what I do, I get these teams wrong. It's just incredible.
And while we have Ebo here, a little bit of college action.
Yeah, the only game people are actually going to be watching tonight.
JMU at Marshall -3.5. Now explain to the people what you explained to me before the game.
I think it's a bad matchup for Marshall. They really, really rely on the run game, and we have, no joke, the best run defense in the country. I think we're allowing 25 yards a game on the ground. 4 legitimate all-conference players on the defensive line. I don't think they're going to move the ball at all tonight. It's going to be really, really ugly. I think it's like a 20-13, 17-10 type game.
Pick the under.
Yeah. I like JMU. It's a good matchup for us in terms of running the football. The only reason they beat us last year is because our starting quarterback got hurt the day before the game, so they threw a freshman out there with no prep. So I feel good about it tonight.
Ebo, this is concerning because I got a DM this morning, and it was from this guy, and he said, spooky play of the year.
I got that too.
Celebrate Halloween season and bet JMU versus Marshall over 49.
I got that too, and I was like, fuck, I think I have to take that.
Same. I was like, it's like the spooky play of the year. You only get one spooky play of the year.
When I saw he led off spooky play of the year, I was like, oh my God.
It's the over.
Yeah, it's the over.
Spooky play.
I mean, Marshall has been giving up a lot of points lately. JMU is very vulnerable to explosive plays. If Marshall can move the ball through the air, it has a shot, but I don't think they're going to move the ball outside of the run game, and we have the best run defense in the country.
I'm taking JMU. I like JMU tonight.
Also, fuck the NCAA. Fuck Charlie Baker. His fucking patronizing ass letter saying that he saved us money. He's saving us money by not having us pay a fee or like join full FBS. Fuck you, dude. Fuck the NCAA.
That one bowl thing that like Jacksonville State and JMU can play in a bowl game technically, and it has to be like the day of Army Navy. It has to be at Hawaii, and it has to be considered like a regular season game. But like they're both not bowl eligible for those that don't.
Why
know.
is JMU still not bowl eligible?
Because the NCAA is a bunch of fucking crooks and frauds, Frank. They moved up last year, and they were one of the first teams ever in a first transition year, play a full FBS schedule. And now the incentives have changed because now the best group of 5 team gets to go and play in a New Year's Six bowl. So the group of 5 is incentivized to have their best team go to a bowl game, and now they're just like, nah, we're gonna have if we have a 12-0 Sun Belt team, they don't get to play in the New Year's Six bowl.
You haven't thought about this at all?
The NCAA has always been a joke.
Not mad.
I mean,
I'm not coping.
Frank, it's about scholarships and education. Come on.
Yeah, right.
This doesn't benefit the players at all.
I mean,
it's nobody.
Who won the conference tournament last year and wasn't able to go to the NCAA tournament? That is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
One more college game on tonight. Rice at Tulsa, -3.5 right now for Tulsa. The Sharps are on Tulsa, as well as the under, which is 58.5, but that moved up. We get the picks tonight. Marty, what do you got tonight?
Rice and Tulsa. Is anyone going to be watching that game? I mean, Rice.
Family members on those teams.
I mean, Rice is in Houston.
Yeah, it's true.
That's facts.
Ebo, I forgot before I do my picks, just really good job for the Orioles, man. It really is
I
such
knew this
a
was
good,
going to happen.
such a good season. for
Listen.
the-
I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed the regular season. I had fun during the
Was
regular
it?
season.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
Listen, this was
one playoff game,
here.
I would be like, had a better season. But
The thing is, that wasn't even the young core yet, Marty.
no,
That's
One
not the
guy-
young core.
best guys.
That's not the young
he's gonna
core.
Be the best, right?
Jackson Holiday, yeah, he's gonna be on the opening day roster next year. You know,
Really already?
Otani's coming.
Otani's coming.
Ohtani is
spend
not
any
coming.
Owner
money.
is so cheap.
Okay, guys, Otani's not actually coming to Baltimore. I'm coping a little bit. Let me cope.
I mean, you know how some teams have like 5-year, 10-year windows of opportunity. With the talent the Orioles have, they should have a long window of opportunity. Your window of opportunity is exactly 3 to 5 years because every one of these players is not going to sign a second contract.
Nobody in the young
We are-
core is eligible for free agency for another 6 years. Adley is like the first one up for.
Yeah, well,
free
but-
agency.
They all got to pay those guys those 50-year arbitration. They're not going to be able to afford those guys. Trading those guys
They're
away.
going to be trading they're going to be trading those guys away after the 3rd or 4th year.
It's a shame.
Because the Angelos is.
Listen, Jackson Holiday isn't even up yet, guys.
the
We're
Angelos-
getting way too ahead of ourselves.
The Angelos family-
He is good.
The Angelos
He is
family
really
make,
Awesome.
make the Wilpons look like Steve Cohen.
I interviewed Jackson Holiday.
Bang.
Yeah.
We had Matt Holiday on. And he was in the call, and we asked a couple questions.
You know the craziest part about Jackson Holiday is that his brother apparently, who was a sophomore in high school this past year, is apparently already better than him.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's better.
He has a 15-year-old brother who's going to also be the #1 pick in the
He's
NFL.
like a stud.
Crazy crew.
I have the Astros. I have the Phillies. I don't think the Phillies could lose. I really don't.
We talked about it.
You get a
earlier.
little.
I think-
Are you getting
I
a little
think-
scared about how much it's almost like they're becoming America's team now? Like everyone loves them.
No, because it's not even cockiness. It's just like confidence.
No, I know. I'm not saying cockiness. It's just more like I don't like when everyone's likes. I like last year you were more of an underdog.
Everybody likes them, but not everybody's picking.
My prediction tonight is the
Not the World Series.
My prediction tonight is the Diamondbacks win, but the Phillies take the series in 5.
Yeah, I don't. I
Tough in 5.
no matter what happens
home
tonight, the
game
Phillies
5.
still can win. And we talked about this earlier. The Phillies still can win tonight. The Sharps, everybody is on the Diamondbacks plus 125, which is down to plus 105 tonight. I can see the Diamondbacks winning tonight because they are going to throw everything. Everything at the Phillies.
I don't think they win in 5 though
But-
because Gallon at home is tough.
But I'll just stop.
Yeah, maybe.
No, well, I thought you were done.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. You maybe.
Hey, sorry, Smitty.
It's in the middle of, like
the-
two pronouns.
Sorry.
And now you're beating me up with the mic.
Sorry about
Yeah, now you're just
Third time.
now you're just going to take cheap shots and fucking follow accounts
I'm genuinely-
for no reason when we're having
I-
a discussion
I-
about
I
stuff.
Oh, you mocked me. You mocked me.
I will say this: if the Diamondbacks do not win tonight, get the brooms ready.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what I was going to tell Marty. No matter what happens tonight, whether the Phillies win or if they lose, hammer the Phillies tomorrow.
Yeah.
Absolutely hammer them. Diamondbacks are on a bullpen game. The Phillies are either going to close it out because the Diamondbacks are going to be dead, or the Phillies are going to view it as an absolute must-win game because they're not getting the series tied after 4. So,
But yeah, I have Phillies, Astros, and I have Saints, and I have Alvin Kamara plus 145 anytime touchdown. He hasn't scored yet.
Lemmer?
I have the Phillies money line.
I have the Saints minus 2.5. I have the Astros, and I have JMU minus 3.5. Gentlemen.
Can I just, before we end the show, just want to call out the Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back WNBA
Congratulations.
champions. And I will say this before anybody in the comments clowns or whatever, I voluntarily tuned into this game, and it was one of the better basketball games I've actually watched in a while.
Fundamentals.
Yeah,
Jake Marcy
great
was
skill.
there. It was
And these are
awesome.
like for people that don't really tap in. From like I tapped in. I'm a casual WNBA fan. These are like two Warrior teams going up against each other last night. Like they have like
Deuce.
3 superstars in both teams.
I can't believe you haven't brought up that Tom Brady won another championship.
Yeah, he did. But it's more of this is like a quarter of a championship for Tom. This is a Mark Davis masterclass. Did you see him dancing on social media?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Did you guys hear about the Barstool basketball team won?
Congratulations.
You guys won a game?
They're 1-0-1.
I saw there was like maybe a rift in the locker room going on. Billy talking about his on-off stats.
Yeah, Billy played a great
analytics?
second
Philly was
game.
great. The whole team was awesome.
I'm the Patrick Beverly
I know
of
somebody. I know somebody who, if we ever bring him on board to Barstool, would make Barstool basketball team probably one of the best.
I know who he's talking
I
about.
know
He's
too.
plugging. He's plugging.
I know he's plugging. I like the.
He's got to support his guy.
He supports his guy,
Yeah.
but I did. I meant what I wanted to bring up. I was 0 for 5 yesterday with 1 point, but I did take a charge.
Well, that's
Oh, you played really well, Marty. You were around the
I'm
ball.
a
the whole
Patrick
yeah,
Beverly.
No, you did a lot.
It doesn't show. My stats don't show on the stats.
I talked to Connor about this yesterday. I'm happy to hear Billy had a bit of a come around game because you can tell everything you need to know about somebody by how they play pickup basketball. And Billy shooting 18 shots in game 1 while the next highest is like 9. It's like, Billy.
Like Nick Mulcahy shot, I think 14 times last game, but he was 7 of 14.
Yeah.
Like, he was 50. We needed him to.
Okay,
He was our only offense.
Great.
I
He should be
think-
shooting 20
Yes.
times a game.
Yes.
I think in pickup, like I'm one of the guys that like will always purposely probably pass too much because I hate being I hate ever
Same.
being
Yeah.
considered a ball hog. But I think in Billy's state, I think in pickup you really do gotta look not like you gotta look at the film. Like was it 18 jump shots? You're a ball hog. If it's like he's taking someone else's shot, like if there's a rebound and he
He
gets the
came
rebound,
down on a fast break once and shot a 3. And in the film, Nick Mulcahy, you hear him go, "No, Billy."
yeah, like that's bad.
So that's where it was like,
you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like if you miss
How-
a
how
shot,
far-
he
how
gets
far
it.
off?
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was a
It
bad
was-
shot.
did it hit rim?
It was a really hard off the back.
But how did Billy do yesterday?
Billy played great.
Incredible. I also
And
want
yet-
to say, sorry.
Well, last thing, I now understand when college basketball guys, when they have the ball in their hand with like 10 seconds left and they're up 3, they have no idea what to do with the ball. Because that might have happened to me yesterday, and I turned it over, and they almost scored to tie the game. But your brain goes everywhere.
That's why
And
Chris
there's-
Webber called timeout.
Yeah, well, also Dana did do that the first game, and Chris Webber himself, and the ref goes,
The ref waved it
ref
off.
goes like this.
You know, 19,
You should have lost that
Funny.
game.
If the ref really wanted to be an asshole, he'd be like, "Yeah, you don't have a timeout."
1984 NBA Finals Game 2, game tied. Magic Johnson had the ball in his hand with 20 seconds left and froze.
Yeah. You don't know, and that's with a crowd. There was no crowd here, so that's where I was like, your brain goes nuts. But yeah, we won.
Astros plus 190 to win that series. So if you
think
guys
it's a
that high on
great-
the Astros, go for it.
I'm gonna add that tonight.
I would not touch that.
Dukes, let's go on it together.
Add it.
Let's go.
Oh, I took them yesterday plus 240 with the Phillies like minus 800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, before yesterday was plus 240.
Yeah, maybe it was higher.
Should've
Than that. Maybe it
looked
was
at
plus-
that.
Marty,
think
before we
it's
go
higher
off,
than
I was just looking at the score sheet just now. 5 turnovers?
Yeah, that was some. Some was a little miscommunications. I'm the point guard. You know, I'm gonna.
Hey, you know what?
You're point guard with 5 turnovers.
You know what?
Don't tell anyone that.
I was a defensive menace. Yes.
He was.
Yeah, I
Menace.
I believe
5
that.
turnovers. That's almost as much as a French bakery.
You remember? I mean, I love Coley Mick.
Might as well quit.
Love Coley Mick. But when his 6'7" ogre ass just demanded to play point guard for our basketball team, it was,
Coley's a hothead on the court as well. Hothead.
it was something.
He wanted to be point guard at 6'7"?
Yeah, he was our point guard for a while.
I mean, that's a forward, or in pickup basketball, that's even freaking center.
That's center for pickup basketball.
Center in pickup basketball is if you're like 6'4" sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
I'll give him
that's a
credit.
power forward center.
I'll give him credit. He knew how to distribute.
He is good.
A lot of other things like dribbling. Like it was.
Well,
Yo-
like,
he's Jokic.
if you're Pat, it makes sense to be a point guard. You're like, oh, Magic Johnson, like a 6'4" guy that could dribble, skillful.
Pat
like,
quit on the
distributor.
team. Pat quit on the team.
Really?
He's not on the team. He's not playing.
We
I
have
can
a
see Ego
good.
being a weapon in the Chicago office.
I have no jumper.
Are
Well,
you?
they-
I have
Well,
0 jump shot.
do you have an alliance?
They can practice all day now.
Yeah.
We need that.
Do you have an alliance at the office for your team?
For basketball?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've even thought about that.
Do you ask permission to be on this show?
No, I
We
just came
went
on.
through that already.
Okay,
He's
good.
gonna get it.
He said he's gonna get shit. I asked him why. Like I don't.
I said I might get a
Why?
couple friendly
I'm
jabs.
Sure,
You know?
Brandon Walker. I mean, listen, Rico. I'll be fair. Rico did say something about that show, the Mostly Sports. I am friendly with everybody now, so I
love
hope
Brandon.
everyone
I
does.
love Brandon.
Obviously.
Brandon's not mad at me. I'm on this show every day.
I would also just like to say, as a Rico guy back here, that was not a healthy debates thing. That was a Bosco End One thing, and I am not on Bosco End One, so I'm a neutral ground.
And I will tell you this, I hope that one day we decide to do pickup baseball, and I would love to be the manager.
Oh,
Wow.
1,000%
man.
on.
Great, Frank.
I think you definitely. I want you. You will. Well,
Softball
Do you think
team,
the entire team would be cut after the first game? I would love you'd be like, you're out. Like, you're out.
I'd probably be the guy to get ejected with arguing with the umpire coming out there kicking around.
Yeah, Frank, managerial style, who would be the person you emulate the most?
Probably Billy Martin.
I was thinking Earl Weaver.
Billy Martin? How many drinks would you have before each game?
Okay, probably Earl Weaver because I wouldn't be drunk.
All right.
I'm not kidding. If
Rest in
I was
peace,
on
Billy
the, if I was
Martin.
on the softball team and Frank came up with like a nickname like me for me, like Daniel Vogelfat, I don't think mentally I could handle that.
Yeah.
That's a fire.
Yeah,
Dude, you just said the turnover thing to me. I'm still thinking about it.
You know what?
that was public information anyway.
No, but still.
Yeah, when I was sitting front row, not too far from the Mets dugout, when Daniel Vogelfat had probably his most embarrassing moment of the season when he hit a little slow roller to the wall and couldn't make it to second base. He was out by 5 feet, even though in 18.1 seconds. He walked past me, and I know he heard it. But I said, "You are an absolute embarrassment. You are the worst athlete I have ever seen."
Did a good commercial with Buck Showalter, though. That's stealing a base.
Yeah, well, both. That just demonstrates what a dumpster fire of a season this was for the Mets.
All right. That's Big Central. Barstool Radio is up next. Enjoy.